नमस्कार. आयच्या डिबेटात तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. आणि आयचो विशय असो आसा की गोंयच्या इमेजी विशींचो. तुम्ही पळयलां आसतलें फाटली 3-4 डिबेट्स जी आसात ती आमी गोंयचेर करतात, कारण गोंया विशींचे म्हत्वाचे प्रश्न जे आसात ते आमी गोंयकारांनी आतां चिंतपाचो, ताजेर चर्चा करपाचो, आनी जर आमचे भितर कितें बदल घडोवपाक जाय जाल्यार तो घडोवपाचो वेळ आयला. वेळ आयला म्हणचे परस म्हाका दिसता वेळ केन्ना गेल्या, पण बेटर लेट दॅन नेवर अशी आमची परिस्थिती आहा. आयज आमचो विशय आसा तो म्हळ्यार गोंयची इमेज. आनी त्या इमेजीक लागून गोंया येवपी ट्युरिस्ट आसूं ते ज्या तरेन वागतात, किंवा गोंयांत येवपी वेगवेगळे घटक आसूं जे हांगा येवन कितें कितें इल्लिगल गजाली करतात त्यो. आनी 3 मानेस्त तशें जात म्हजे बरोबर, जांकां ह्या विशयाचें ज्ञान तर आसाच, त्याच बरोबर आमी फुडें वचून कितें करपाक जाय हाजेरूय आमी तांचे कडेन भासाभास करपाक शकतात. पयले आसात गोंयांतल्यो नामनेच्यो सामाजीक वावुरपी आनी बायलांच्या प्रश्ना खातीर फाटलीं कितलींशींच दशकां गोंयांत तळमळीन काम केलां. ती आवदाबाब विएगस. आवदाबाब वेलकम. दुसरे आसात आमचे बरोबर गोंयांतले नामनेचे पुलीस अधिकारी, आमचे रिटायर्ड DIG बॉस्कोबाब जॉर्ज. बॉस्कोबाब वेलकम. तिसरे आसात ट्रॅव्हल अँड टुरिझम असोसिएशन ऑफ गोवाचे अध्यक्ष जॅकबाब सुकिजा. जॅकबाब, जांकां टुरिझम इंडस्ट्रीचो आनी सद्या गोंयांत येवपी टुरिस्टांचो हांकां बेस बरो अदमास आसा ते. हांव बॉस्को साहेब तुमचे कडच्यान सुरवात करतां. इतल्याच कारणां खातीर, कारण आमी सगळ्यांत पयलीं बोट पुलिसेचेरूच दवरतात. कितेंय जालें की आमी पयलीं बोट पुलिशेक दाखयतात. सो आतां ह्या डिबेटाचेरूय म्हाका दिसता सगळ्यांत पयलीं बोट तुज्याच वटेच्यान. आनी तुवें सुरवात करपाची, कारण तुमी गोंयच्या भायरूय काम केलां. तुम्ही गोंयच्या भायर राज्यांनी काम केलां आनी तुमी थंयच्यानय गोंय पळयलां, म्हणून हांव तुमचे कडच्यान सुरवात करतां. किती आसा ही गोंयची इमेज जाका लागून प्रत्येकाक हांगा येतकीर दिसता की आपूण कायदो नाशिल्ल्या भशेन वागपाक शकता. प्रत्येकाक हांगा येतकीर दिसता की आपूण जाय तें करपाक शकता. आनीक ऑल ऑफ अस, द होल सिस्टम इन्क्लुडींग द सिटिजन्स ऑफ गोवा हॅव बीन टेकन फॉर ग्रांटेड. बॉस्को बाब, प्रॉब्लेम कितें?
थँक्यू प्रमोद. एकूच हांव म्हणूंक शकता, वेदर इट इज सोशल मिडिया, whether it's Insta, whether it's Facebook, whether video goes viral. I mean, today I myself sometimes get information where which are the nice places to eat in Goan food. I mean, it was so, we were limited to just a few places that we know. There are so many places, and can you beat it? It's not by Goans. It's by everybody else, except you may find 1-2 Goans who give about it. Now, if this is the... I stay in a place in Siridam. I go to the beach every day, and what I saw before retirement and now, I mean, it is mind-boggling. You find that narrow road filled with tourist vehicles. I mean, what is the rush over there? And then I say, oh, acha, these are all by Google paths as well as through the media.
Social media.
Social media. It is specifically social media that has actually, and sometimes the exaggeration is so much. Wow, Goa इस तरह से beautiful दिखता, यहाँ से sunset हो रहा. I mean, we maybe being from there we took it for granted, but then after, even if I see it again, I don't find it so attractive.
Dramatic करपाची गरज ना.
Yeah, that is true. So this is for me, this is that real devil in the
impact of the social media. तुम्ही बरो विशयाचे सुरवात केल्या, आमी ताजेर या. बट आवदाबाई, प्रश्न, तुम्ही इतली वर्सां काम करतात, त्यो मागीर प्रॉस्टिट्युशनाची केसीस आसूं, सेक्स वर्कर्साक रेस्क्यू करपाचें आसूं, तुमी 20 वर्सां पयलीं जे करतालीं आनी आज जे करतात, ज्या तरेचे घटक गोंयां येतात किंवा ज्या तरेचो इन्फ्लक्स गोंयां येता, हातूंत भितर तुमकां मेन फरक कितें दिसता? कारण आमकां सुद्दां एक लक्षांत येता की आमी पयलीं तुमचे बरोबर सुद्दां जेन्ना आमी कॉर्डिनेट करताले, काम करताले, आमकां आठवड्याक 1 किंवा 2 अशी बातमी मेळटाल्यो. आज आमी दिसाक 2 बातमी करतात ह्या विशयां वयल्यो. कितें फरक आसा आनी हो कित्याक फरक आसा अशें तुमकां दिसता?
गोंय अख्खे देशात ते भायर इंटरनॅशनली पेंट केला की हांगा कितेंय चलता. हांव 20 वर्सां आदीं न्ही, 30 वर्सां सावन बायलां लागून, भुरग्यां लागून वावरता. हातूंत हांवें खूब बदल पळयला हे 30 वर्सां मदीं, एज फार एज कमर्शियल सेक्शुअल एक्टिविटी इज कन्सर्न, प्रॉस्टिट्यूशन वॉट यू कॉल. तातूंत पयलें जातालें कितें, पिम्प्स आसताले, एजंट्स आसताले आनी तात्पुरतें कितें तरी चलतालें आनी तांकां रेस्क्यू करून पुलीस खूब रेस्क्यूज करताले आनी हाडून तांकां मागीर प्रोटेक्टीव होमान घालप. आनी हांव एज अ पॅनल मेंबर 2002 सान वावुरतां एट द प्रोटेक्टीव होम. तर हांवें बदल पळयला म्हणजे कितें, तेन्नाची स्टेट बायलांची आनी आजची स्टेट आनी ओवर स्टेईंग आनी चीपली ते सेल चलता बायलांचो बिचांचेर आनी खंयचे गलयांनी आनी हांगा थंय, तो वाडत गेला. आनी हो कित्याक वाडला, कित्याक सगळ्याक प्रोपेगेंडा जाला की गोंयांत तुजें प्रॉस्टिट्यूशन इज द गेम. हांगा येवपाचें, मजा मारपाची, सोरो पिवपाचें, कजिनोंत वचपाचें आनी हें वाडत गेलां. पयलें पळय तोंडी जातालें, टॅलिफोनाचेर जातालें, कॉन्टॅक्ट्स पर्सनल जाताले, ते आतां ऑनलायन जातात. ऑनलायन
बरोबर.
सायट्स आसा, एस्कॉर्ट सायट्स. आमच्या सरकारान, खंयच्याय सरकारान, हांव कोणूय सरकारा क्रिटिसायज करना, पूण खंयच्याय सरकारान बंदी करपाची ट्राय केला. ते वाडत वतात. आनी कोण करता धंदो, गोंयचो कोण तरी तितून तितलो इनवॉल्व ना. दिल्लीच्यान सेटींग जाता. खंयचो फोन नंबर, खंय पयशे घालपाचे, कशे पयशे पे करपाचे आनी कशे पयशे गोंयांतल्यान भायर धाडपाचे, हें सगळें चालू आसा आनी हें मॅस जाल्लें आसा. हें मॅस क्लीन केल्या शिवाय
आमी फुडें वचपाक शकना म्हणटा तुमी.
आमी म्हाका दिसना
या
टुरिजम फुडें वचचना.
एब्सोल्युटली सोसायटीच फुडें वचची ना असली
काय
इतली
ना,
परिस्थितीची
काय
आमी
ना,
पावल्यात.
काय
जॅक बाब दोन आयले, एक म्हळ्यार बॉस्को बाबान सांगलें ती सोशल मिडियाचो एंगल, तांणी सांगलो तो इंटरनेटाचो एंगल, आनी तिसरो एंगल जो आसा जो आमी गोंया भितर ऑन ग्रावंड सद्या पळयतात. पयर जे फोंतेनास घडलें तें, जंय गोंयकार आतां चिंतपाक लागला की हो ट्युरिस्ट आपल्याक जाय काय नाका. काल लिडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशनान काडलो इश्यू हो एस्कॉर्ट सायटाचो, जो आवजाबाईंनी आतां टच केलो तो. वॉट इज हॅपनिंग? आनी आमी एक वटेच्यान म्हणटात की आमकां क्वॉलिटी ट्युरिस्ट जाय, पण जेन्ना आमी घराच्या भायर वचून पळयतात तेन्ना तो क्वॉलिटी ट्युरिस्ट आमकां सोदचो पडटा.
So I would just like to qualify a bit. I mean, तुम्ही म्हणता, in my opinion and for a large part, Goa still for me remains a great destination. The original thing where we had this warm, welcoming nature, the joy of life. You had the beach, you had the natural beauty. There is a deterioration, and you had the picturesque architecture. All still attract people, and Goa has a brand image. But any tourism destination, there's always a touch of hedonism. तू ही पोय वर्ल्डान, तू थायलंड वच, तू हुंय वच, एम्स्टरडॅम वच, there is a seedy angle come, and it's not necessary tourism, right? The first great development in Goa was Mormugao Port, and we know that what went to service that sort of the workers who went there. There was a red light district which came. But the thing with technology is it amplifies everything. Like Bosco said, Bosco sir said, social media and all, escort sites, everything gets projected out. And Goa being the top destination in India, being the smallest state also, there are so many news channels, and it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing that every issue just gets projected out, and it's good that we can combat it. What I would say is that when these issues crop up, the police also should show that strict action is taken and that, it is being tackled. There has to be that trust in law and the government. I would just also like to come back when you say vice, right? You started by saying that this is vice is what people are coming for. So if you could define what is a vice, like prostitution, hard drugs, definitely should be no, there should be crackdown control. Maybe you can't control. Casinos and gambling, well, we are the only official gambling place in India. Goa is the bigger, Indians are big gamblers by nature. The way that industry has been done, you have killed Panjim city, the beauty of Panjim city, by putting those casino boats out there, destroying the river, seeing that basically there is no, everywhere in the world you go, the river is opened up, any city. Yeah. In Goa, here we are closing the river. And alcohol and smoking are the other things which you could consider as vice. That happens, it could happen anywhere. Goa was once known as a cheap destination for liquor. Liquor is today available everywhere in India at a cheap price.
म्हाका ह्याच मुद्द्याचेर तुमी खूब बरो आस्पेक्ट टच केलो. बॉस्को साहेब, प्रश्न हो आसा की गॅमलिंग, ड्रग्स, प्रॉस्टिट्यूशन आनी अल्कोहॉल, इफ दीज फोर आर द हॉलमार्क्स ऑफ युअर टुरिजम, and if these four becomes the hallmarks of your image outside Goa, आता गोंया भितर जर तुम्ही खंयच्याय गोंयकारा विचारलें जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता कितले 80% ऑफ गोवन्स हॅव नॉट विजिटेड बागा कलंगूट फॉर लास्ट सो मेनी इयर्स. तुम्ही पुलीस म्हूण गेले आसतले, रिटायर जातकीर बी चल बरें कलंगूट वचून बरें वारी खावन येवया म्हूण गेल्या अशें म्हाका दिसना. ती परिस्थिती सध्या उरली ना. ही आमची गोंयकारांची परिस्थिती. बट गोंयच्या भायर ही इमेज न्ही आमची. गॅमलिंग, प्रॉस्टिट्यूशन, ड्रग्स आणि अल्कोहॉल.
I would like to disagree with that. But
Okay.
I'll come to that.
Okay. I like when people start disagreeing on the panel. So that's great. But Bosco, तुम्ही जेन्ना भायल्यान गोंया कडेन पळयताले, तुमकां हीच इमेज दिसताली काय हो असेसमेंट चुकीचो आहा?
No, the assessment is true in the sense that, the unfortunate thing is Goa is given the image of a very easygoing state. Okay, and let's accept we may be a more open society as compared to the rest of the country. Okay, small things, even like in the past, I can say when we were abroad, and when we used to come, my sisters and all used to wear pants at that time. Today it's normal.
Yeah.
But few years back it was not normal. And my grandmother would say, "What is this you all are wearing?" And that too, we were staying in Panjim city itself. And it was not considered okay at that point of time. But then afterwards, I still remember the neighbors commenting with my grandmother, "Tenka poi ती किती कालसांवां घालून भोंवता." So then my grandmother, so she said, "हांव कांय म्हणिना, आमचीत नात घालतात." So I mean, it was the opening up. So we have opened up to such, we have opened up to a great deed, but then afterwards, the India of upper class is much more open and much more adventurous, and they think that it's difficult to go abroad. Maybe Goa is the destination where they can let loose, drop their whatever.
But जेन्ना त्या उद्देशान बॉस्को बाब कोणी गोंया येता, इज अवर सिस्टम इक्विप्ड इनफ टू टॅकल दॅट, रेग्युलेट इट?
Yeah, like you are quite true. Are the roads having the capacity to take so much of traffic? I mean, if it is this is causing hindrance to the Goans, we cannot get out. We cannot go for a wedding. We cannot go for our functions. Why? Because the number of tourist taxis, the number of self-drive taxis, we have not made any survey regarding the capacity of our roads to hold so much of traffic. When we went on a study tour, we had gone to Singapore. Over there, we were told that even if you have the money and even if you have the vehicles, you have a license for the vehicle, you cannot take out that vehicle of yours until the equilibrium between the capacity of the road to hold those vehicles and the capacity of people to purchase the vehicle. It was not allowed. Until there is a proper equilibrium, then only. Today, I mean, we are here. Today is in the next couple of days, St. Francis Xavier's feast is going to come. The Christmas is going. I mean, it is a nightmare, and I really feel sad for our policemen. They bear the brunt of all this thing. I mean, it is, you are asking
You are saying
them
it is physically impossible to tackle a problem, and then you are getting blamed for not tackling the problem.
Correct.
Otherwise, do you think system is equipped enough to regulate this? I kind of प्रश्न असो आसा, we are an open society, but आम्ही ओपन जाल्यात आणि मागीर आम्ही म्हणतात की अरे हे भायल्यान जे येतात ते आमचो ओपननेस समजूनच घेना म्हणून, and then we are unable to control it. Do you think system is equipped enough to tackle, regulate the kind of behavior what we are seeing today, or as Boskobab says, it is so big that it is physically impossible?
Now it's grown. We could have controlled some years back by having deterrence. Deterrence ना आमचे कडेन. आमी केन्नाय न्ही एक्शन घेवना. दॅट इज ताका लागूनच आमकां लोक टेक फॉर ग्रांटेड की कितेंय चलता हांगा बिचार देर इज मरीन लायफ दे ताचेर गाडी चलयतात. क्रावडेड स्ट्रीट्स, आमच्यो स्ट्रीट्स कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी इज लेस आनी व्हेहिकल्स आर मोर. I pity the policemen sometimes. I work with them quite a lot. म्हाका तांचे चुरचुरे दिसतात. They are not able to handle it because it's gone out of hand. तर म्हाका दिसता right now, if we want to promote our state, टुरिजम स्टेट म्हणून जाल्यार आमी कितें तरी क्वीक एक्शन घेवपा जाय. ह्यो सगल्यो एक्टिविटी ज्यो चलता in minimum use is there of these things, because if you say tourism, people come to have a fun, but it shouldn't be such that the fun spills on the road and it spills into people's houses. It destroys people's life, it destroys people's occupation and causes a lot of hazards for the local people. हाचेर कंट्रोल ट्रॅफिकिंग. आतां ट्रॅफिकिंग गोंयांत कोणाचीय भुरगीं खंयच्यानसान हाडली, कामां लायली, म्हाका खबर ना कितले बॉडी पार्ट्स हाडटात ते. कितें चलता गोंयांत न्ही हें कळपाक आज बरें डिफिकल्ट आसा.
या म्हाका दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. जॅक, तुम्ही कितें म्हणटात की देर आर two images of Goa right now from the tourism perspective, and if there are two images of Goa, then which image is overpowering which image?
So I think
Yeah.
We should concentrate on those things rather than promoting casinos, commercial sexual
बाकीच्यान
activity.
प्रमोट करना, त्यो आपोआप येतात आमगेल्यो.
ते आपोआप कशें आयल्यो?
त्यो आपोआप कशें आयल्यो हाचेर आमी उलोवया.
कशें आयल्यो?
येस जॅक बाब. या
so तुवें म्हणलें की ड्रग्स, prostitution,
गॅमलिंग एंड अल्कोहोल. या
So I'm not saying that I wouldn't agree that this is what is promoted. There is a side effect which comes and which has to be controlled and regulated. You push Goa out today, you have MICE, you have conventions, you have weddings, you have international tourists. They're coming for a good experience. They're coming. Everyone leads stressful lives, right? You're connected to 3 metro cities nearby: Bombay, Bangalore, Pune. If you take that, it's like half of Western Europe, the population, and it's growing. The money is growing. So people want to come and unwind and have a good time. In fact, for a long time, Goa was known as India's happy place. Then there's also, and with this also, the side activities come, which unfortunately have been proliferating in a few areas. I won't say which areas because it's not fair on my part, but I think, like ma'am also pointed out, like people come, drive on the beach, or this is happening. There has to be strict action taken, and the deterrent has to be put.
Do you think the system is equipped enough to regulate these things?
I think if the system has a clear direction and you are told that, you have to clamp down, show this, and you point out that this is what we are doing, this will not be tolerated. The same social media which promotes other things can promote that this is this is being cut down. You have to have that deterrent, and I'm sure it can be done. Now I'll give you talked about Fontaines. So I worked in Fontaines. I walk around lots. We started with Goa Heritage Action Groups. We started the walks. Now, for me, what is the main problem in Fontaines is, let's face it, a lot of us Indians don't obey rules. We don't have boundaries in public places. So you will block roads, you will take photographs, the houses abut on the streets, you will put your feet there, you might even enter houses, and you will never apologize, right? So you're intruding. Now, in the last 2 days after these incidents have blown up and all these representations have gone, I've seen 2 cops there. Yesterday, when I walked on 31st January road, the road was clear. So I'm not saying you put permanent police there, but where there is traffic flow, there's a block on traffic, you run a patrol car for half an hour, whatever, with proper visitor management system, I feel most of the problems can be sorted. But you need to come out with clear examples and project them out wide.
Yeah, Bhaskar.
My point is, this is where it comes. Every way you want the policeman. I mean, there has to be something like, we need to have the thing is, policeman is not the person who needs to be doing this. Either the tourism officials need to have a felicitation counter or something of that sort, and giving them advice that these things are not permitted, or some this thing. Because yes, like Jack said, it's very true. We Indians we take, especially up north, they take things so casually that this is our space. We were under the British rule, this thing, or you all were under Portuguese rule. So now we have the freedom to do all this thing. I mean, but policemen, the minute there is police, it is a certain distance. I mean, in such a social this thing, it doesn't happen. And let me also add, couple of years back, like how they were saying, prostitution is increasing. These are definitely going to be the side effects that come in.
My question is, and I'll ask Jack Bab also and Audaba also speak on that. whether the side effects are suddenly becoming the main effects of our identity.
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
that they're being put out there. It's very good. The issue can
We
be
can tackle them,
the
but
issue
they are
right
not
now,
the hallmark.
They are not.
They have not become the
They are
hallmark.
not the hallmark. There are a lot of family people who are coming. There are resorts which are coming.
Yeah.
Also, like our sir said, Bosco sir said about this policeman is not the answer. To a certain extent, I agree. But who is the other enforcing authority? Do you see the tourism department? It has no powers to enforce. The director even wants to send a notice on someone, he has to call the police. He has to have someone with it. So unless you have tourism ambassadors or a security force, we need some enforcement. Once that message goes out, something will
You
come.
are saying we need a man in uniform so that the enforcement takes place.
With over tourism, yes.
या बट बसको म्हाका तेच आमी कोणा तोंडा कडेन पळोवप तुमी म्हणटात फक्त आमच्या तोंडा कडेन पळयनाका म्हण जे एक बाबाचो प्रश्न सारको लॉजिकल आहा मागीर कोणा तोंडा कडेन
No,
पळोवप
no. See, now you go to the what you call these dance floors and all. You have bouncers now,
Aye.
whether they're regulated or unregulated. Okay, they need to be regulated. Okay, now and they go overboard. They shouldn't be allowed to push and bang the customer. They need to only detain them and call the police. Same way as tourism department doesn't need policemen. It requires those facilitators so that when the people in that area feel threatened, feel uncomfortable, they call that counter. Yes, they need to send them and detain those people. Then it can be enforced for everywhere. The police today, this thing is what prevention and detection and security of the citizens. We have gone into too many things. Everything we have become, even the local municipal corporations and everything, you require policemen for everything. That's this thing. We are expanding to, and we become answerable to every institution, every organization, even and strict scrutiny by special media.
तुम्ही ऍग्री करतात बॉस्को बाब म्हणतात की फक्त पोलीस न्ही म्हणून
I agree.
देन व्हॉट इज द सोल्युशन कोणाच्या तोंडा कडेन पळोवप
I agree with
Aye.
Bosco Bob. I agree with
But कोणाच्या
Jack
तोंडाकडे पळोवप?
also to some extent. What we need to do is have monitoring systems in place. One, enforcement doesn't come only from the lawkeepers. That's a police. There should be some systems in place by which checks are there. Once you check, and like Bosco Bob rightly said, detain the person, then you can involve the police if required. But there should be some systems in place to bring back our lost.
But then we are again talking about a different force under a tourism department or any other department for that matter.
It's not a force, it's just an enforcement. You should have rules in place, regulations in place. This will not be tolerated, that will not be tolerated.
But who will enforce? Ma'am, who will enforce?
Why do we have a government then?
Okay, very good question. Yeah, Bosco. Yeah.
No, my point is, see, today you have those parking guys, right?
Yeah.
They are doing this thing. If there is an argument or something, who will they call? They will call the police, right? Now, the municipality has these people. Enforce those things. Why can't the tourism, they can engage some tourist guides and all. Let them have a proper this thing. What I'm saying is let it be tourist friendly, let it be thing. You have what you call, on the beach, you have the drishti and all. Let them be doing this thing. You cannot be, we are there to enforce the law, but we cannot be policing
You are saying you
each and
cannot be
every.
omnipresent.
Yes.
Jack Bob, do you agree with that? Do you agree with the proposal की बरें ताणें दोन एग्जांपल दिली गोंय भरची लोकांक कळपा खातीर पणजे पे पार्किंगाचो सिस्टम चलता तुमी गाडी लायली तो येता आनी तुमचे कडच्यान 20 रुपया घेता आनी ताका लोक दितात 20 रुपया तोय बी ते एक सामको ड्रेस बीस घालून आसता बिचाचे लायफगार्ड असतात जॅक बाब तुम्ही म्हणटा आनी दोन एग्जांपल दिली अशी टुरिजमा खातीर कितें आसपाक शकना काय म्हणटा ते
असूंक शकता पूण हांव till that system does not come into place, we need to tackle this. And I'm not asking for permanent police deployment. Areas where there are issues happening. You see that, you do a patrol, then you send out a message. Now, okay, so आम्ही citizen modern झाले, आम्ही तर फोंटायनेजन भोंवले नाल्यार तूं कालांगूट भोंवले आनी आम्ही सगळ्यांक instructions दिले. That is the exact problem we face with the tourists because if they don't see someone with authority, and like Bosco sir said, clearly there is an issue with the North Indian male guy in this.
Yeah.
He's aggressive. He's used to asking what he wants.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't see enforcement, if he doesn't see you in authority, he's going to get back at you. It becomes very tiresome and difficult to deal. Now, I'll give you the same example that happens in Fontainebleau with us. There are people who violate. I'm not saying only the Indian violate. But tomorrow, a foreigner, when I used to work, I used to be on the front of the house of the hotel. If a foreigner came without a t-shirt, in 9 out of 10 cases, I would say, sir, this is not allowed. Will you please put it on? And 9 out of 10, you would answer respectfully. Not today, tomorrow, yesterday, 2 days after this incident happened, someone walks in, a young guy with a cigarette. I said, excuse me, sir, there is no smoking zone. You can go out. He's looking at me for 2 seconds, blows 2 puffs on my face. Then the second request comes, sir, will you go out? So what I'm saying is that, and I'm a person who doesn't take, right? I'm big built, I can this thing. You imagine someone small,
Yes, correct.
the level of this thing. So there, I'm not asking for permanent deployment. Education, everything is done, but there has to be a little deterrent that a message is sent that, you are in this area. There are certain things which have to be followed, and we are serious about following them.
Yeah.
One thing, you see, the tourism department used to have the tourist police. It was disbanded, that's a different matter. But they also have very stringent laws within the Tourist Act.
Yeah.
If there is misbehavior or not, there is a lot of things. That's why I'm not saying please don't get the police back again into the Tourist Act, but employ people who, and as a means of this thing, whether it is, on part-time basis or this thing, you will give employment to this, or those who do undergo some tourism, sort of lessons, and enforce it so that these can
हांव
be the
ही
same.
गजाल तुमची मान्य करता. आमकां नवीन कायद्यांची गरज ना. आमच्याकडे कायदे खूब आसात. आसा तेच जर आमी इम्प्लिमेंट केले न्ही, आमी खूब बरे आसता आशिल्ले. लास्ट राउंड जॅक बाब तुमचे कडच्यान स्टार्ट करता. इज कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी. सगळ्यांनी हाजेर उलयलें की गोंयची कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी कितें. आमचे एक विचित्र ट्रेंड जाला. आमी प्रत्येक खेपेक इवन आमचे मंत्री बिंत्री असेंब्ली भितर उबे रावता आनी सांगतात पोरूं इतले ट्युरिस्ट आयिल्ले, अंदू इतले आयले, ते वाडले म्हणटकीर ते सक्सेस. आणि फायनली नाव वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट बाबा वाडले बरे हा, हांकां एकोमोडेट कशें करतले, रस्त्यार एकोमोडेट कशें करतले, बिचांचेर एकोमोडेट कशें करतले. कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी गोंयची कशी डिटरमायन करप जॅक बाब?
Carrying capacity to various tourismaचे the facets are ते पळयल्यार तूं अकॉमोडेशन पळय, तूं ट्रान्सपोर्ट पळय, तूं रेस्टॉरंट्स पळय. अकॉमोडेशन, आनी ते आनी एक प्रॉब्लेम जाला. ते अकॉमोडेशन आतां सगळे एअरबीएनबी जावन, होम स्टे जावन इतले वाडल्या कित्याक नाव
रिकॉर्डय ना खूब जाणांचो.
So recorded now, but खूप improve झालं. Now it's 7,500 registered. From 7,000, out of that 7,200 are in your C and D category, which is 10 or 4 rooms on an average. So everywhere you go, tourism has come in, right? You go to an apartment complex, someone is running an Airbnb and all. So that somehow that accommodation gets sorted. I think the biggest issue for us is our like Sir said, traffic, and how do you get it? And having parking lots, okay, say you are entering Fontainebleau. So I'm talking so much of Fontainebleau because it's something I work in every day. But even say Kalangut or something.
It is in news also right now.
Yeah. So you have parking lots, and then people have to walk, right? You have a central point and from which you distribute. You cannot have vehicles going everywhere, and that is our problem. I think our major problem is we have too many vehicles and our roads cannot take it. Okay, our highways are great, but the internal roads are just not equipped to take this. So we need better design and we need planning. Someone has to sit and look overall, and the problem is that it can't be one department. There's to be someone who merges all departments.
आता काढल्या सगळ्या पुलिसेचेर घालताले तशें काढले आनी टुरिझम डिपार्टमेंटाचेर घाले म्हणून प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व जावचो ना.
नाल्यार ते एक दुसऱ्याच्या भितर टफ वॉर जाता and nothing gets sorted out.
म्हाका आदाबाई, बिफोर आय गो टू बॉस्को सर, कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी कशी डिफायन करपाची गोंयची प्रश्न पयलो. आनी दुसरी गजाल आमचे चॅलेंजीस कितें. जॅक बाबान म्हळें की ट्रॅफिक बिकम्स द मेजर. आतां ट्रॅफिक कारण आमकां प्रत्येकाक रस्त्यार येतकीर ते फेस करचें पडटा, म्हणजे आमकां तो सगळ्यांत मोठो प्रश्न दिसता. तुमी अशे गजाली कडेन डील करतात ज्यो आमकां रस्त्यार दिश्टी पडनात पूण त्यो खूब भयानक आसात. तुमचे खातीर ह्यो चॅलेंजीस कितें, ह्यो रस्त्यावेले ट्रॅफिक किंवा कंजेशन किंवा ही कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी ही चॅलेंज, काय ह्या टुरिझमाक आतां आमी सायड इफेक्ट्स म्हणटात त्या सायड इफेक्टाक लागून जे एलिमेंट्स गोंयांत येवपा लागल्यात, ज्या तरेच्यो एक्टिविटीज वाडपा लागल्यात, ती तुमचे खातीर मोठी चॅलेंज.
आमी केन्नाय ऑडिट करूं ना टुरिझमांतल्यान आमचे बेनिफिट्स कितें त्यो. जर तें केल्लें आनी हांवें सांगलां तशें सिस्टम्स इन प्लेस आशिल्ले, चॅक्स एंड बॅलन्सीस, कंट्रोल, आमकां कितले लोक जाय, इतले ट्युरिस्ट आयले, तितले फुटफॉल्स आयले, ओके फायन, तातूंतल्यान आमकां गेन कितें जाल्या. आमचे कडेन आसा ते प्रोवायड करपाक तांकां उदक, लायट आनी कितें इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर आसा इन प्लेस, हें सगळें करूनच करपाचें न्ही तें टुरिझम.
बरोबर.
आनीक लोक इलिगली खूब कामां करतात. ट्युरिस्ट येता ड्रग्स येता, मागीर ड्रग्सांतल्यान इनकम येता, आनी पूण तो गव्हर्मेंटाक फायदो कितें, लोकांक फायदो कितें? हाचे चॅक्स बॅलन्सीस आसपाकूच जाय आनी ऑडिट जावपा जाय. आमकां रेव्हेन्यू कितें मेळ्ळा, आमी दिलां कितें, गार्बेज कितली घेतल्या, आमचे कडेन आसा, जाता हें सगळें काय म्हणून.
या जर मॅनेजीस जावपाक शकना जाल्यार फक्त आमी फिगर्स ऑफ ग्रोथ दाखोवन खंय पावतले.
हय.
बसको बाब, दोन्ही प्रश्न ते, एक कॅरिंग कॅपॅसिटी कशी डिटरमाइन करप, दुसरे जी आमकां दिसता त्यो चॅलेंजीस तुमकां मोठी दिसतात ज्यो जॅक बाबान सांगल्या त्यो, किंवा ज्या चॅलेंजीसा कडेन आवदाबाई सारखे एक्टिविस्ट डील करतात आयची घडयेक, त्यो चॅलेंजीस तुमकां मोठी दिसतात ज्यो सामान्य गोंयकाराक दिश्टी पडनात, पण तांचें चित्र खूब भयानक आहा.
Before I go into that, I
Yeah.
will give one of this thing regarding Fontaines area, because I also have been, I'm a resident of Fontaines. You see, you go to the Goa University, that road, okay, there are AI cameras fitted over there.
Yeah.
And you will find invariably all the vehicles going slow in that area. They don't go beyond 60. Why? Because there is, the challan is generated automatically. Okay. Same thing, something needs to be done in Fontaines area. That
Technology.
Technology. None of these tourist taxis should be allowed to enter in through those passages. Residents are there. Mark them. These are the residents of these people. These are their vehicles. So once they pass in, there will not be thing. Any other vehicle, let a board be put. You don't require policemen or any damn person. Straight away the challan will go to those guys over there that they have entered the wrong area. With sufficient proper warnings. I mean, this is one way we can do something about really solving the Fontaines area, rather than,
Fontaines can be the model for every area in Goa.
Yes, okay. Then afterwards, all these no parking places, fit the camera. Where there is garbage, fit them cameras over there. It's a different matter. Sometimes those cameras are working, then we can take.
Cameras should be working. Then only they are cameras.
Then only, yes.
Otherwise,
but like I said, one of the best solutions in that Goa University areas is the AI generated this thing.
Yes.
They are able to generate, and automatically a self-discipline comes
powerful
into
chalan potat घराकडे सामके.
Yeah, so that's why we have to.
And carrying capacity.
Carrying capacity.
How to determine that carrying capacity?
Okay. Now, carrying capacity is our internal, again I say internal roads. Certain roads, please ban this thing of tourist vehicles and all these self-drive vehicle, tourist taxis. You're not allowed to go beyond that. Here is your parking area. Generate a parking area. Once you come into Panjim city, here's the parking area.
Yeah.
Here's the city bus that will take you. After that, use the thing. I mean, it's not,
It's not rocket science.
Rocket science that you have to reinvent the wheel. I mean, people need to sit down and just work out
apply their mind. Yeah.
And don't put for the full city cameras. These are the designate these spots.
You know where the trouble is. Jack Baban जसं सांगलं, you know where the trouble is. Start with that.
Yes.
I think एक सामान्य सिटीजन्स म्हणून आणि एक आम्ही मुद्दम आज या पॅनलाचेर पॉलिटिशियन्स हाडना, कारण पॉलिटिशियन्साक हाडले की मागीर सजेशन्स एकदां कमी येतात आणि केस्तांव इल्ली चड येतात. म्हाका दिसता आमच्या गोंयकारांची ऑलरेडी इतली केस्तांवां आहात की जे इश्यूज आमच्या डेली लायफा कडेन संबंदीत आसा थंय केस्तांव करपाची आतां परिस्थिती उरली ना. वी नीड टू बी सोल्युशन ओरिएंटेड अँड मूव फॉरवर्ड. आज आमी मुद्दम ह्या गोंयच्या डिबेट्स करता, आमी तातूंत भितर आयचें एक डिबेट आशिल्लें आमी आनीय करतले. अशेच पॅनलिस्ट घेवन तुमचे म्हऱ्या येतले. आज खूब बरी सजेशन्स आयल्यात, ती आमी बी गव्हर्मेंटा म्हऱ्या पावयतले. बट अशी हाजेर चर्चा जावं दी, घराघरांनी चर्चा जावं दी. फक्त कोणे कोणाचेर कितें तुगेलें स्टेटमेंट केलें आनी कसलो तुगेलो शब्दांचो फार मारलो हाज्याकी मातशें भायर वचून जे प्रॉब्लेम्स खरेंच आमचें आयुश्य बरें करपाक शकतात किंवा वायट करपाक शकतात हाजेर मातशें आतां तकली घालया गोंयकार म्हणून. इतलेंच सांगून थांबता. Bosco sir, you have a parting shot?
Yeah, just one, like this, because of the projection of Goa, as an easy-going thing. When I was in the department, now it is I received a call from a very senior officer, and he started saying, "अरे Bosco साहब, हमारे बंदे थोड़े हमारे दोस्त के लड़के कलांगुट में डिटेन हो गया, जरा देख लेना क्या है." So I
किस
called
काम
up.
के लिए डिटेन हुए थे सर? अगर वो
So
भी
I
आप
called
बता
up the
देंगे,
police
हाँ.
station. So I asked the PI. I said, "किते?" So he started saying, "साहेब ते लेडीजा बरोबर खंयचे हॉटेलान ते केस्तांव जाले ते पासून तेंच्यांनी हे केलें." So I called and I told the officer. I said, "This is the problem. So we'll this thing." You know what he said to me? He said, "अरे अगर इसके लिए नहीं आएगा गोवा तो और किसके लिए आएगा?"
This came from an IPS officer.
No. Let's. I'm not.
हिंदी
I am
म्हणता कळली
not.
म्हाका.
No,
You
it is.
said Hindi, so that is the clue you gave me.
No. I'm not saying it was an IPS officer. But you know, this is
Yeah, this is the mentality.
This is the mentality,
Yeah.
the wrong projection. It is not there. It's a different matter.
आणि हांव साहेब एक गजाल सदांच सांगता, तुमी आमी IPS ऑफिसर आनी तुमी हिंदीन सांगले म्हणून मातशी फकाण गेली, बट गोंयचे भायल्यान जे ऑफिसर येतात न्ही, तांची गोंया विशीं आशिल्ली लागणूक आनी गोंयांतले जे ऑफिसर आसात तांची गोंया विशीं लागणूक हातूंत भितर खूब फरक आसता. आनी ती फायनली लागणूक ही आमच्याच कडच्यान येवपाक, गोंयकारा कडच्यान येवपाक, आमचे गोंयकार ऑफिसरा कडच्यान येवपाक, गोंयच्या सिटिझन्सा कडच्यान येवपाक जाय. इतलेंच सांगून आज थांबता. आवदा बाय, बॉस्को साहेब, जॅक बाब, थँक्स अ लॉट फॉर पार्टिसिपेटींग. पळयत रावात प्रुडंट. नमस्कार.
मॅडम, सुगंध तर इतलो बरो येता जाणा.
थँक्यू.
टिफिना वांगडा त्यो न्यूट्रिशनाच्यो गुडयो दिवपाक विसरूं नाका हा.
आता तू न्यूट्रिशनाच्यो गुळयो विसर.
कित्याक?
का या तांदळातूच सगळे न्यूट्रिशन मेळटले. पंचामृता फोर्टिफाईड राईस हातूंत आयर्न, झिंक, फॉलिक ऍसिड, व्हिटॅमिन ए, बी सारकेले 9 मिनरल्स आसात. तर हे झाले नाही निरोगी आणि सुवादिक. तर पुराय पौष्टिक आहारा खातीर
पंचामृता फोर्टिफाईड राईस
असल्यास पुरो.
पुराय पोषणा खातीर पंचामृता फोर्टिफाईड राईस. घराघरांनी पंचामृता.